Hello RC fans, Racing 393. Look at that picture. Well, this is a bit of a shall I shan't I video. And there's a reason I got this picture up there, and you'll find out in a second. Those that don't know, and I'll be surprised if anyone doesn't know, Tamiya Thundershot. It comes under another kit, if you like. I've never owned one, but it comes under another problematic process in my brain. I have never really liked, well, no, I'll rephrase that. I don't like cab forward shells. I just don't like them. I think there might be just one that I thought that's all right, and I think it was a team associated one, but it was an old one, and the cab was a bit forward, well, quite a bit forward, but very razor edge. Can't remember which kit that was, but that was the only one that I thought, do you know what, that doesn't look too bad. But there's lots of people that would say that this is one of the best looking Tamiya buggies. That's fair enough for them, but for me, no. And you're probably asking, why are you doing a video on the Tamiya Thundershot? Well, let me explain a second. And this is the reason why I've got this on my backdrop. I'm hoping you can see this. This is from ModelSport. This is a current web page, if you like. Painted body, but look at that price. 52% off. Are you kidding me? £225. So you're looking at probably $279 converting it over US. It's now £109, so probably $130 maybe, if that. Also, because it's over the threshold with ModelSport in the UK, it says up there, orders over £99 free shipping. It's a no-brainer. I jumped straight in and ordered one of these, and hence the picture. Tamiya Thundershot. Now, before I go any further, here it is. You can't see me. Don't want to see me though, do you? I've actually got one. I'm just moving so the camera can see it. A Tamiya Thundershot for £109. Absolutely unbelievable. Now, let me explain my process of getting one, apart from the cost. And it's a little bit, a little bit over to you to decide what you want me to do. No, just bear with me a second. So, yes, I have got one. I couldn't pass that for £109. I've never actually owned this chassis at all. So, and I'm a little bit of a fan of the yellow CVAs. There's people that don't like building shocks, but I'm that weirdo on YouTube that likes building shock absorbers. Now, before I go any further, I've got some notes down here. So I'm not going to do like a history on the Thundershot. There's a few things that I didn't know, so I will relay that to you. But there's a lot of people with a far more, ton of knowledge about, or anything really, anything RC. And although I've been into RC for years, there's some details that just didn't even know about. So what year did it come out? 1987, November to be precise. It was this chassis, the Thundershot, hence it sounds, or it's related to the Hot Shot. Hot Shot was 84, this was 87. In 87, the Hot Shot back then, it became a very aging chassis, I guess. So this was the much simpler and more, it's a bathtub plastic ABS type chassis with everything in it, so it was a lot easier. The Hot Shot had its own sort of tub, very awkward to work on, if I'm honest. This, on the other hand, it's very similar to the original Hot Shot, the single mono front shock, the twin back shocks in this one. So I guess more like the Hot Shot 2, which was actually the third one that came out, which is a bit weird. So yeah, it is a predecessor of the replacement for the Hot Shot. It's got lots of different things on here. So I'm just looking down some notes here. So it was re-released 2005, 2008. May have been done after that. I'm not sure. 2008 seems about right. And I'll say re-release, 2022 was it? And this is just a re-release of that again. It comes with a painted body. Now, for those thinking they like this body shell or they like the look of this, I'm not doing this body shell, so I will be selling that on, the body shell plus a few other bits that I'm not using, because as you can probably imagine, I've got a ton of hop-ups which I'm going to put on this. More hop-ups, no doubt, that won't fit. Actually, these ones will, because they're from Tamiya. Some of them. With various iterations of this car, this is something I didn't know. There was lots of minor upgrades throughout the sort of the release dates of the Tamiya Thundershot. Just looking down here now. So the front hubs were slightly taller in some kits and some re-releases, and the top of the front hub had like two mounting holes. I guess for that, if you look at the picture there, you've got the top link, which is non-adjustable on this kit. That could fit in one or two different locations. The bottom front and rear wishbones on the original, they didn't have a slight webbing strengthening. That's my understanding. I probably would never have known that had I not looked it up. Apparently, you can't see it on here, but apparently within that, the steering bar, if you like, was fully threaded. Not that it makes any difference to me, but fully threaded on. I don't know if it's an early. I can't remember right in there. If it's on an early edition, but they did put like a smooth bit in the middle and threaded outers. Is that how I read it? I mean, does it matter? There's people saying that if they want to make a, like a replica original, then it's very important that you have these parts. I mean, maybe it wouldn't bother me. And another thing I've read here, well, read on the internet, but I wrote it down. On the originals, apparently there was some which had really soft springs. Someone was saying that maybe where it wasn't heat treated at the right temperature. So I don't know. Is that a thing? Is that a Tamiya thing? It sounds like, from what I can read, Tamiya make a lot of inconsistent decisions and errors within kits that are re-released. I don't know. I don't know. I'm looking up there. I don't actually know any problems that I've had building re-releases, because I probably didn't have the original in the first place. So who knows? And if you're interested, I'll tell you anyway if you're not, but I'm going to tell you. Clearly, this came out in some other iterations. Thunder Dragon. I was going to put a picture up. Should I do that? I can't be bothered, because that was that wedge silver. I didn't even like that. It was a crap body shell. A Terra Scorcher, actually. Now, a little story. I never had one of them either, but it is based on this. But it's like this Thundershot on steroids. So it had bull racers. It had, what have I got down here? It said lots of upgrades. Bull racers, anti-roll bar front and rear. I think this only has it on the front, as you can see on that picture. I've got a feeling it had twin shocks on the front. There is an upgrade for this for two shocks on the front. And it was sort of like the body shell. I mean, as far as cab forward type of body shells, it looked similar to this. I'm not saying this is ugly. I mean, the reason I quite like this, but I'm not going to use it, is the cab forward and side pods. So it is very much like Formula One-esque. It's got that silhouette. I mean, I actually do like when you had the original wing upgrade, which was separate, and it sort of stood up a little bit at the back. That I liked. It actually made this look really good. And that's from me, coming from a cab forward hater, if you like. But yeah, so the Terra Scorcher was an upgraded version of this, so I can understand those two. Finally came out the Fire Dragon, again, nice red, but in my opinion, crap body. So I've only really bought this for the chassis. I'll be selling a few things off that I won't be using. I think speed controller, body, the motor. I don't know what else. Depends how I go. There's a few other bits, but the box. I'm not going to do a box opening, but in the box that I showed you a minute ago, I've got a lot of already upgrades. I've got about 2 lots due in. Some are on their way. Well, they're both on their way. Just depends when they're here. Is there anything else I need to tell you? No. Put the notes down. So that's where we're at. A video coming soon of the Thundershot. Now, I want to know, what would you like me to do? As in, I tend to spread my videos out. You might say milking it for like my at the time of recording this, the Tamiya Super Champ, or fighting buggy if you like. I still haven't finished that, but there are videos of it almost complete. It needs a bit of money spent on it, as in electrics. So you might ask yourself, should have got the electrics, not this, but I couldn't pass on this deal. But that's still not done, and that was part whatever it was. I was losing count, so maybe that's the answer. Would you rather me do a video that's more condensed from a start to finish, or would you? Do you like the detailed, supposedly detailed, step by step, chatty builds? I don't know how you feel about that. They do get reasonable views. My dad does watch them. He's more into what the car looks like at the end, and just me rambling. Actually, I don't know. He just likes enjoying hearing my voice, but because he doesn't get to come over. So yeah, I mean that's just, like I said, that's the reasoning for me doing most of my videos. Although YouTube's just one of those addictive side hustles, isn't it? That you kind of get used to doing. You get a lot of slander, a lot of people that say you don't do this right, don't do that right. That don't bother me because I don't care, basically. I'll do it right or wrong. I'll listen, and if someone says something, I think that's a good idea, I'll take it. But, if someone says I'm doing something wrong, don't get me wrong, it does go in, but whether I do anything about it or not, well, that's up to me, isn't it? So, I like building my cars. You could say, well, I'll do what I need to do, and I'll make it spread out over 15 parts and doing bits and pieces at a time. Who cares? But will it hold your attention? So, I'm asking you to leave some comments. What would you want me to do? Would you want a more condensed version of a build, or would you like me to continue currently as I am? I mean, I don't know, what else I could improve. There's probably loads actually, thinking about it. So don't knock me down. So that's the plan. So I don't envisage. God, some words don't come out, do they? That I'll be starting this too soon. Although at the time of watching this, you're well into December, so you're probably into the Christmas spirit. I would, if you're going to buy any deals for RC cars heading like now towards Christmas, I'll be honest, at the recording of this video, it's not Christmas, so get onto ModelSport and get those deals. But there are bound to be more deals coming up to Christmas. And as you're probably viewing this, it is Christmas, so you may have already done it anyway. That's the problem with doing videos too far in advance. I'm talking now, but planning then, and something doesn't marry up, does it? So the plan, I didn't actually finish the plan, did I? So the hop-ups on the chassis, there's not many for this. There's some. But what I plan to do is to put a different body shell on that encloses, so like a rally car or something. But I've got a feeling that, again, this wheelbase thing is going to be a little bit of an issue. So I do remember a friend of mine years ago, he had a Terra Scorcher, and I had a Tamiya Ford Ranger. The Terra Scorcher absolutely blitzed my Ford Ranger, but he didn't like these body shells back then. I'm talking way back when it came out in the 80s, sort of, mid. Well, it would have been mid. I wasn't at work then, but I was at work at 87, perhaps when this came out. So I started work at perhaps 18. So this had been out. So it was more like maybe the Terra Scorch was out, maybe this was sort of like it was still available to buy. But anyway, he bought a Terra Scorcher, but always said to me, because I think also had a Madcap, and he said it looks like a crisp packet because it's flat in it, and I kind of agreed. And he put, because he was into his Land Rovers, he put an actual Land Rover body shell on the Terra Scorcher that he bought from the model shop. So I don't know how. I mean, I didn't think that much then, but it clearly looked okay because it had wheel arches on, which seemed to marry up with the chassis. So maybe it's not quite as odd. But my plan is to put a full-size body shell on this, not using the crisp packet shell. But yeah, so that's the plan with some nice hopped up electrics. And we'll perhaps what I'll do a compare video with the actual hotshot, which I'm pointing to up there because you can't see it, but it is a predecessor, isn't it? So we'll just compare the two in a video. Now you're probably thinking again, you don't do videos on running videos. Well, it is the winter now, so I've got an excuse, but they will come out. It's just when. So let me know your thoughts on how you want this build to go. This has gone on far longer than I anticipated, but it will be in the real term condensed down a little bit. So I'll finish there. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.